Good day and welcome to the channel. The film I have chosen for consideration is Toy Story. This is a 1995 smash hit film, which is an animated adventure comedy film produced by Pixar's Animation Studios for Walt Disney Pictures. Now, let's consider a few things about this film that make it a great film for anyone to watch, shall we? Let's come to the first point of that makes this a great film, and that is actually the director. His name is John Lasseter, and he has had quite a history as a filmmaker, roughly 45 years in total, and the following are some of the films he's done. So you have The Fox and the Hound in 1981, Young Sherlock Holmes in 85, Toy Story in 95, as well as its sequels, A Bug's Life, Monsters Inc., Spirited Away, Finding Nemo, Howl's Moving Castle, Porco Rosso, Cars, Tales of Earthsea, or From Earthsea, Meet the Robinsons, Ratatouille, Wall-E, Tinkerbell, Bolt, Up. I think we'll end there with the filmography or the films he's directed, and there's one point that stands out amongst everything here, and that is that despite having such a long career, he's more well known for animated films such as what we're considering now. Let's come to the second point that makes this film a great film for anyone to watch, and that is the cast, or to the more to the point, the voice cast of all the animated characters, beginning with Woody, who's played by Tom Hanks, Buzz Lightyear, Tim Allen, Mr. Potato Head, Don Rickles, Slinky Dog, Jim Varney, Rex, Wallace Shawn, Ham, John Ratzenberger, Lenny, the binocular toy, is played by Joe Ranft. Bo Peep is played by Annie Potts. Andy Davis is played by John Morris. Sid Phillips, that would be Andy Davis's next door neighbours, played by Eric Von Detten. Miss Davis, Andy's mother, is played by Laurie Metcalf. Sergeant, the leader of the large troops of the Plastic Green Army Men, is played by Arlie Emery. Hannah Phillips, that's the little girl in the story, is played by Sarah Freeman. Buzz Lightyear's toy commercial announcer is played by Ken Gillette. The aliens are all played by Jeff Pigeon, and Mrs. Phillips is played by Mickey McGowan. So there's the cast of this wonderful little film. Let's come to the third thing that makes this film a great film for anyone to watch, and that is the musical soundtrack or the musical score to the film. Now, I don't think this film had like a classical type of music put to it, as that may have been something out of place to what the film was trying to put forth, but it did have a soundtrack, and we will consider what that soundtrack is, consists of. And here they are. 1. You got a friend in me. 2. Strange things. 3. I will sail no more. 4. Andy's birthday. 5. Soldier's mission. 6. Presents. 7. Buzz. 8. Sid. 9. Woody and Buzz. 10. Mutants. 11. Woody's gone. 12. The big one. 13. Hang together. 14. On the move. 15. Infinity and beyond. And 16. You got a friend in me. This time a duet version of the original song, or the very first song. And I think that all of these songs, from what I recall of the film when I was much younger, actually perfectly captured the film's more childlike fantasy element. Now let's turn to the fourth thing that makes this a great film, and that is both the budget and the box office income. So the first part, the budget, was set to £30 million, and you can understand why that would be the case, because the type of animation that would be a highly significant thing, and it was a really groundbreaking development at the time in 1995. Now, the box office income is 401.1 million. So you see, there is actually a greatness to the film that it actually brought in 370.1 million more than its estimate budget. But let's now consider this a little more deeply, shall we? The first 5 days of its release back in 95 brought in 39.1 million, and this led it to be the most successful long weekend in the history until the 4th of July 96. It placed a number one in the weekend box office with a 29.1 million, and maintained that position for the next 2 weekends, only to be displaced by Jumanji. And we all know the reason for that, because Jumanji was an excellent film as well. Now, Toy Story went on to become the highest grossing domestic film of 95, beating Batman Forever and Apollo 13, Pocahontas, Casper, Waterworld, GoldenEye, and other films. At the time of its release, it was the third highest grossing animated film of all time, after Lion King in 94 and Aladdin in 92. And it's the second highest grossing film of 95, just 3 million behind Die Hard with a Vengeance. As of September last year, that is 2025, it has grossed 198.4 million in the US and 176.2 million in the international markets from its original 95 release and subsequent re-releases, for a total of 374.6 million worldwide. So you see how great this film done throughout its history from 95 to the present time in 2026. And this only shows how great the film is with reference to its animation. 9, Toy Story 3 in 2010, Toy Story 4 in 2019, and Toy Story 5 2010, Toy Story 4 in 2019, and Toy Story 5 in 23. From all of these, you can see that there's a wide gap of time between each, and it's probably wise to see this as being something to do with the fact that it would have taken a lot of time for them to get everything together. But nonetheless, I do believe that each of these films also were great in their own right. For example, what was brought in, the second one was a budget of 90 million and it brought 511.4 million. The third one, the budget was 200 million and it brought in 1.67 billion. The fourth one was set to the same amount of money, 200 million, and it brought in 1.74 billion. So we've come to the end of this video and I will conclude with this. As I've said all the way through, I think this is one of the very best kinds of animated films. It's not so much a drawing based animation, but rather a computer based animation. And it was the first of its kind as far as I can recall. So thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this.